What is up, everybody? How we doing? I gotta get this camera set up. How's everybody doing? Thanks for joining in tonight. Sorry, I'm still working on setting up the camera. Hopefully you guys are having a good night. Wait for everybody to jump in. Cheers. Cheers to Monday. How we doing? Anybody see any UFOs lately or have any new UFO stories out there that we need to talk about? What's up, Big Poppy? How we doing tonight, guys? Any new UFO stories? Any paranormal stories that we need to talk about? How we doing? We're waiting for everybody to jump in. I just started this. So. How goes it? So topics today, I don't even really know exactly what we're talking about. I kind of want to hear your guys' stories. So if you guys want to call in and talk about some UFO stories you guys have or something that's been going on lately in the news, that'd be sick. Otherwise, I was thinking topic of Bigfoot, which, although everybody thinks Bigfoot's just a conspiracy, I was thinking, like, okay, I was watching Star Wars the other day, and I was like, what if Bigfoot's legit, just an alien? I mean, the dude who was in Las Vegas, you know what I mean? The dude who was in Las Vegas said he's seen a creature. Granted, he didn't say the creature was hairy, but he said he's seen a creature that stood anywhere between, like, literally, I think he said 8 to 10 feet tall. Okay? That falls into the category of Bigfoot. Am I wrong? Maybe it was just a hairless Bigfoot. But regardless, what if, like, all of those mythical creatures, like the Chupacabra and, like, Bigfoot and stuff, like, what if these dudes were aliens? And I know that sounds absolutely crazy to talk about, but we just got done listening to a interview, essentially, the other day where they were talking about having known up to like 30 different species of aliens. Excuse me? Literally just got done with the conference stating we are not alone in the universe. And now we're talking about possibility of legitimate ETs. What are they? Where are they? You know what I mean? Very interested to try to dive to the bottom of that. And I was thinking about that all day at work today. I was just like, dude, wait, what? What if this is a thing? Hi, everybody. How we doing? Yeah, he said over 70. Yeah, no, so it was Dr. Green or Gurn. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Sorry. I am horrible at names. But the conference the other day, literally they were talking about it, and thank you. Yes, they pronounced it properly in the comments. So the other day they were talking about it, and they said that there are ETs. We are well aware that there is extraterrestrial life out there. But we just, like, we know of upwards to, like 50 or 60 different species of ETs. So why not Bigfoot? I don't get it. Or possibly Loch Ness Monster? Maybe. Like, you and I think of, like, alien life or, like, life on Earth needing oxygen and needing, the sunlight to live. But that is literally, that is how we live. That does not mean anything when it comes to extraterrestrials, when it comes to different life forms. Plants obviously need sun and water, but what are they called? Microorganisms, like, they could possibly live off something completely different. So why is it that we need specifically air and water to breathe? And Loch Ness, who knows, could live under the water. Just a theory. That's a theory. But I'm just spitting it out. What do you guys think about that? Have you ever heard of a UFO cloud? I have not heard of a UFO cloud. No. I'm not legitimately, like legit seen UFOs, which is uber sketch. This was before we all started talking about them. This was before it was such a big deal. I mean, obviously, to the true fans, it's been a big deal for a long time, but like going way back, like this was 2018-ish, 19-ish, don't quote me on that. I have a video up on my channel if you guys want to go check it out, but I literally was taking my brother home one night from my apartment to my parents' house, middle of the night, middle of summer, driving home, and right above the treetops, on the right-hand side, right near my parents' house, mind you, I grew up here. I know this place like the back of my freaking hand, okay? There was something floating above the treetops that is completely unexplainable. Now, some people might say, oh, it's a drone. It's a drone. No. Okay, I fly drones. I am a cinematographer, photographer. We are not allowed to fly a drone the size of a minivan. Like, it's just not going to be happening unless you are like clearanced, possibly insanely high up in the government some way, somehow. Maybe you could fly a drone that big, but this thing was quiet. It was silent. It was the size of a minivan, hovering, give or take, 100 some feet right above the treetops. And we live out in the country. Like, there is not, we are like way out in the country. And I'm driving home, and all of a sudden I look over, we can see a plane on the left-hand side, but on the right-hand side there was a subject, and it wasn't blinking. It wasn't flickering green and red and any colors that need to be seen in the air. You know what I mean? Like colors that are like licensed to be on planes. It wasn't like that. It was like a purplish blue light that was just a static light. And this light was just hovering above the treetops, and we got closer and closer, and I freaked out. The first thing, as a cinematographer, I'm driving the car. It's nighttime. I'm like, what do I do? Whew! And I throw my phone into my brother's lap, and I'm like, Colton, film this! Like, get to it right now! And he starts trying to figure out how to film it. You know, he's the cowboy kind of, like, kid. You know, he's the sticks growing up, fishing, hunting. He don't know technology like I know technology. You know? And so I'm like throwing my phone in his hand. I'm like, film this thing, dude. And I'm trying to drive down the road, and he's hands out the window filming. And I have the video clips. Go check it out on my channel. You guys can check out everything in detail there. But literally running out the window, we're trying to capture it. We're the only car on the entire road. And we're driving down the road, and this thing's sitting there hovering right above the treetops. We get closer and closer. It starts to finally move back. And we turn the corner, and we go down this dirt road, and we cruise down the dirt road, and we jump out of the car, and you can literally see the light in the distance. Now, I did enhance some of the images. You guys can take a look at those too. Insane, okay? Insane. If you guys have been following along with the UFO endeavor that's been going on, just recently the Pentagon actually released images that were remarkably similar to what we captured. So it was super cool to see that. Obviously, ours are unverified. Right? We didn't send it in. We didn't get classification. We didn't get the verification on it. But I'll tell you, okay, I have no idea what possibly could have been flying over our heads, hovering, give or take, 100 feet roughly above the treetops. Now, this thing was a shape of almost a saucer, but it was more of a sphere, and it was a chrome metallic object. There was like black little pits kind of on this object as well. Completely silent. There was no jet engines. There was no propellers. No visible propulsion devices. Hi, Marina. Yeah. So absolutely unbelievable. To this day, blows my mind away that we were able to witness that. And we had gone past, and this thing, as we were sitting on the dirt road videotaping this thing, it started to move backwards, and it moved fast, like uber fast. So I was like, let's go. And Colton jumps back in the car, and we're driving. I'm driving in reverse because I'm trying to keep up with this object, and my mind is not where it should be when you're driving the car. And I'm like hauling in reverse, trying to keep up with everybody. And yeah, ended up going back around. We lost it. We drove around for, God, probably another hour and a half. in circles looking for anything remotely close to this. Never seen it again. But it was there and it was gone in the blink of an eye. And this was probably my second encounter with what we're going to call the fourth kind. I don't know if you've all seen that movie. Yeah, if you're looking for an alien flick tonight, yo, the fourth kind, that is sketch. Marina, when was this? This was probably 2018, 2019, give or take, a few years ago. Yeah, super sketchy. Last time I witnessed one. Super scary. Yes, good movie. Yes, The Fourth Kind was terrifying. I was super scared. And the one that got me way before that was Signs. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Signs. It came out a long time ago. Long time ago. I was just a youngster back in the day. But I remember watching that movie for the first time. I was in my parents' basement. Now, mind you, we have a sketchy house. Boy, do I have paranormal stories for you guys on that one. But I was in the basement. And right when the aliens were walking on the rooftop inside of the movie, of course, my dogs decided it would be a perfect time to run across the roof or run across the upstairs floor. We had a hardwood floor upstairs, and it was just too much for me. Okay, my basement is sketch. That's not even the proper word. It's not livable. We don't go down there. We don't go down there. How are we all doing tonight? Does anyone have any stories that they would like to hop on here and share? Do you guys ever seen any like UFOs? Or maybe you guys have seen some paranormal activity stuff that you're wanting to share? Let me know. Russia has been crazy. I have not kept up on Russia, so if you got information, you can fill us all in. I heard Russia shot down a UFO a while back. I heard Russia had possibilities of this thing called a... I don't want to speak too loudly on that, but that's the last I heard of it. Also, I'm interested to know what you guys think about this new theory. I haven't talked about it yet on my channel, so there's been something going around in the conspiracy world talking about the fact of loss of internet. Have we heard anything about that yet? Super curious. So obviously internet's still here, but internet is the possibility in the future of disappearing due to NASA claiming that there's solar flares. So I'm interested to know what you guys think about that. My brother saw a triangle UFO with my niece. Yep, that's the other shape that they say that they've seen. I've personally never seen a triangle one. Saucer-shaped ones only for me, but I don't blame you at all. Yeah. So, Marina, do you have a story you wanna share? I see that it says invite. On Insta. Okay. Yeah, so we'll talk about, I guess, paranormal for a second while we're waiting for someone to jump in with the details. So paranormal, now this is 10 billion% true, and I wish it wasn't, because this was a sketchy story for me. So a long time ago, 2000, gosh, everything happened so a while ago, give or take 2014, okay, give or take. I was at my parents' house back at that sketchy place, and I was coming out the bathroom. True story, like giving me the goosebumps, okay? True story. I came out of the bathroom, and my girlfriend at the time, she was over cooking food on the stove top. Now, picture a square kitchen, right? Bathroom, which is on the far side of the house. Kitchen right over here. As you walk out the bathroom, you're directly in the kitchen. Again, old farmhouse, right? In the middle of the room, you have a table. All the way across was the stove. Directly from the left-hand side of that stove was like all the pots and pans and everything like that. And then far left is the refrigerator. I'm just trying to paint a picture for you guys so you can visually see what I'm talking about. So like I'm walking out of the bathroom, and no joke, on the corner of my eye, it's literally just a flash. And I mean so fast that it's almost like you can't comprehend it. It's like, did I see something? No, I actually didn't see something. No, legit, I did. So, black shadow zips across the house so freaking quick that I literally can't. You guys, goosebumps. I literally can't even express how fast this thing in milliseconds. It goes across the house so quick. My girlfriend at the time was cooking, and she looks over the corner of her shoulder right back at me standing on the other side of the room. And on the middle of the table, there was a little angel figurine, and it was like one of those precious moments, like a precious moments figurine. Super cute little thing. He had a little blanket, rocking the hat. He had a little blanket and like this whole thing, figurine maybe this big. At that moment that I seen that black shadow zip across the house, the pots and pans kind of jiggled on the other side of the room, right next to where she was. She looks down over her shoulder, back down at the pots and pans, at which point, and I am not kidding you, the head of the angel figurine on the kitchen table got cut off directly through its neck, hit the ground, and spun with centrifugal force literally into the wall, zipping super fast. Nobody touched it. This was in the middle of the in the middle of the kitchen. No one's around. Dude, I can't express to you. Look at that. I have goosebumps. I can't express to you guys enough. That legitimately happened. And I honestly, like, if I didn't have this person in my life every once in a while to call up and be like, yo, did that happen? I would think I'm absolutely wild and nuts. But this person literally will verify that story day in and day out for me. Sketch to the max. Yeah. So, needless to say, I got the nerve to pick that up. I picked up the head and I placed it right back on the figurine, which was, again, in the middle of the table, which we've had for years, by the way. And it was literally sliced, perfect cut, directly through the neck. Needless to say, your boy left that house within instant. And I was like, bye mom, bye dad, love you guys, but I am not staying here. Peace out. Hi, Brooke. Yeah, so true story, sketchy story. That was one of the many stories I have about haunting. So I ask you guys, what do you guys think? Is there a connection between paranormal and aliens? I'm curious to know what you guys think about that, because from what we've seen so far in the news and the little bit of information that we found with the crafts and all of that stuff, I have this feeling that there's cloaking devices or dimension hopping going on. And that's just a pure theory. But if that's a possibility that dimensions could merge, I seen something happen in our dimension that could have been bound to another dimension, and therefore we were seeing something happening in our world when something actually happened in a different world, but it got blended. Total thought, total theory. I'm not saying yes or no to that. I need to know what you guys think of that. Graduated in Princeton. Yes, I did. Went to Princeton. That's right. Cheers to that, y'all. Oh, I have spelling issues up the yin yang. We can't spell. Hold on. We need more fog. Let's get the fog rolling. Yeah? You looked familiar. You may not have seen. I don't know. We're not talking about anything. Okay? We're not speaking about nothing. We need more fog. The green lights add to it. Thank you, Brooke. Yes, I thought so too. We needed a little bit of fog and mist to make the atmospheric effect. You know, cinematographers, right? We're not going to have just a boring old live video chat. Not happening. We're going to have that extra because that's who we are. You give me Dave Cook. Dave Cook, you mean Dan Cook, right? Could I be wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Dave has a brother, or Dan has a brother. I have heard that. I've also heard Ryan Reynolds. I have also heard, oh my god, a couple other people. What is his name? From The Matrix. Help me out, guys. Matrix. What's his name? It's the hair. Yeah, you sound like Ryan Reynolds. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. That's the hair for sure. Yes, the Matrix. All right, we're rocking back with the hat. Yes. Kanye Reeves. Nice. Should we do? I don't want to offend anybody. Never mind. I'm not going to do my Australian accent. That's not happening. I'm not here to offend anybody. I'm just here to have a good time. How's everybody doing tonight? Are we doing good? The Dave Cook personality and Ryan Reynolds. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I wish I could do, what is his name? Oh my gosh. That Deadpool. I wish I could do Deadpool. I can't. That's not a vibe. I've met Ryan Reynolds before. I am jealous. I personally am jealous. Okay, Ryan Reynolds, like, from a oh, he is a hunk. Okay, moving forward. Yes, Dane Cook. Yes, that's who you met. I don't know why I have heard that so many times. I've heard Dane Cook, and a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I hate it. Like, you're Dane Cook, nah. And then other people are like, yeah, super, super stoked for Dane Cook. I don't know. It's totally up to you. What is up, you guys? Thanks for joining the live. Just wanted to say hi. Wanted to jump on in, have a beer, chit chat with you guys. And yeah, just jump on in and say hello. It's been a minute. We haven't had any crazy stories happening, so I figured I would jump on in and just say hi and catch up with you guys. Now, someone did actually say a little bit earlier about Antarctica. Yeah, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So the UFO story in Vegas. Let's talk about that. So UFO story in Vegas is interesting. Do I believe it, or do I think it's false? I made a video about this a little bit ago, and honestly, yeah, that's legit. There is no way. I watched a video that the kid posted. His name was Angel, I believe. Posted probably 3 or 4 days after the incident happened, and he was almost in tears during this video. And he was like, you know what, you guys, believe what you want to believe. I told you my story. You guys take it if you want to take it. If you don't want to take it, that's fine. But I'm telling you the truth. And he looked so sad when he was talking about this. There was nothing but just pure sadness in his eyes as he spoke about that. And he said, I just want my life back. And I mean, yeah, there's been a lot going on. Yeah, there's been a ton happening with the news and stuff. So could it have been a fake story? The possibility's there. But there was so much evidence that backed up his story that it almost makes no sense to be fake. The fact that the other officer down the road had actually seen this happening, right? They caught something flashing on their camera. Now, I'm going to get to this because my cousin is a state trooper, so you best believe I asked him questions. Okay, so they caught it on the cop's camera, okay? And then after that, on a doorbell across the street. Then something like landed in the backyard, and we have a short video, which is interesting. We live in land of 2023 where everybody has a cell phone and everybody's going to grab that cell phone and snap some photos. Angel was on the phone with the police officer. That sounded legit. Okay, when he called in, that sounded legit. That was a legit phone call. He was a bit scared. He's explaining his story. That was scary. The next day, after all of this wound up, actually, back up. The officer came to Angel's house, and he went into the backyard, and the footage that you and I seen was him walking into the backyard, and because it was private property, it was blacked out. So this is the portion of the story where I was like, yo, cousin, right? You a state trooper. I need to know how the heck that little camera on your chest works because we need details. I'm not going to live my life not knowing this because I'm a cinematographer. I need to know where does that go? Where's that footage go? The footage goes to 2 locations most of the time. It's backed up on an SD card, okay? And then also, depending on your service, can be sent to the cloud. So, this is where a story gets interesting, is the next day, the neighbor of Angel was at a place eating, and he asked an officer who was standing in line, he says, so, interesting night we had, huh? Question, what happened to that footage? And like, he's like, what happened last night? And the officer was wearing a mask. He pulls his mask down. He goes, like, we're not really allowed to talk about the situation. We've been briefed on the situation, but we're not allowed to talk about it. And he stops for a second, and then he goes, I will say that the video footage that was shot from last night, we're missing 20 minutes of video footage. Yo! What? 20 minutes of video footage. Now, as a cinematographer, SD cards, they fail. But you ain't gonna just gap 20 minutes of footage. Now, this is also one solid clip, guys. This is, I hit the record button, we're recording, we're capturing this chunk, then we're losing this chunk, and we're gaining this chunk. That don't happen. You lose an entire clip or the entire card, but you do not just randomly miss a chunk. And now, if this had been backed up to the cloud, yo, that ain't happening. You ain't losing footage. Now, the state trooper my cousin, went on to tell me a little bit about some information. He said, if we are told by a higher power, he didn't say who this was, so maybe a sergeant or, state troopers, y'all, they sit up here, right? There's like an officer, then there's like state trooper, and then I think you have your sergeant, and then above and beyond. So, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how levels go. Unless we are told by a higher power that we're not supposed to be, showing off this footage, like it's pretty much open to public because it's kind of important. Unless there's murder or something that's like physically we're not allowed to show without getting permission. So it seems a little bit fishy to me. It seemed very fishy to him. And I wanted to like get all that information. So that's what information we got from that story. Do I believe it? I feel like it's very credible, right? I seen him talking about it next day. Angel, 3 days later, he was almost in tears, just saying, I just want my life back. I just want to live my life. If you guys don't believe me, that's fine. That sounds uber credible. It could be a hoax way off the charts, but I don't think it is. So that's, yeah. And do I believe in God? We're not going to get into religion. I appreciate that, but we're not going to get into religion on here. Let's see. How's everyone doing? Doing good? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful night. I just decided to jump on in and talk stories with you guys because it's been a minute. We had some slow last couple days in the news. So I was like, yep, we're going to jump on in and talk with you guys and just catch up. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Great content. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm so happy that you guys actually love the content that we've created on the channel. I honestly didn't know where I was going to go with my channel when I first started. So this is to give hope to you guys. I have been a cinematographer for many, 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 many years. Photographer, cinematographer, basically, I don't like that number, but probably upwards to like 20 years. Yeah. And so I've been behind a camera now for a long time. And I started out on YouTube. And I started going hard and making videos and videos and videos and just throwing anything at the wall to see if it sticks. And then I got to the point where I was like, hey, 100 views ain't doing it for me. 80 views ain't doing it for me. This is rough. I feel like I'm creating great content, but nobody wants to watch. And maybe you guys can relate to that. At which point I decided to just make it for myself. And I made a lot of videos because it made me happy. And that was wonderful. I created a lot of vlogs throughout my life. And now I am so thankful that I can look back on those videos and those vlogs and be like, I have that to forever be saved with me. I can watch all my videos on my YouTube channels and look back and just be like, those are some of the best moments of my entire life that I captured to share with you guys. And if you didn't want to watch them, that's totally okay. That's totally okay because I have my life saved and recorded now. And I think that's the most amazing thing. Now moving that over to TikTok, I was so scared to jump on TikTok. I was so scared. And I do this for a living. So I'm proud of all of you guys for jumping in and making these videos too. I go on camera. Like that's my job. Like I basically work at a place where I am on camera almost all the time or behind the camera. And so my boss I was talking it over with them and I was like, I don't know how to create a video where I'm not editing. where I don't get to deep dive into the computer, sit down and just tear into an edit and make a cinematic masterpiece. That's what I like to do, right? I want things to be cinematic and an enjoyable ride from start to finish. And I know that I've successfully done that when I can put someone else on the other side of the camera on an emotional roller coaster ride. That means that they were enjoying the entire content. They were able to laugh. They were able to feel something throughout the film, and they were able to like get an emotional attachment by the end. That's kind of the goal of a film for any cinematographer, I think. But finding TikTok was trying to find my voice, and that was really tough for me because I had to be genuine and I had to be myself and kooky. So I had to try to find and mash all of these things together in a content format where it's engaging for you guys, but it's also me. And I think it wasn't until all of a sudden I made a conspiracy video and it did really good. I talked about UFOs being spotted over Alaska or Canada, and it just popped. And I was like one of the first people on that story, and I was like, ooh, this is cool. And I came home and I talked with some people, and they were like, you should do conspiracies. And I was like, you think I should? And they were like, yeah, no, you need to do conspiracies. So I jumped into it, and I went hard. I made like four videos in a day, and I posted them all at the same time, and they all were successful. And it's successful. I'm not trying to like brag, but successful, like I think like 10,000, 20,000 views or something like that. And I was like, yes, like I'm so excited. And it made me so happy that people were there to consume the content and watch the content and talk about the content that I was creating. So I really, really appreciate that you guys can vibe with the content that we're making. And I want it to be a community. It's not about me. This isn't about me. I can share stories. I can tell stories in a fun manner that's able to like explain to you guys content and how I see the world, but it's about us. This is about us because there is no way to get to the bottom of our stories by ourselves. People have been doing that for years. They're considered crazy, kooky, nutty, UFO conspiracy theorists, ancient aliens. You watch all these people on TV, right? And they are literally just goofballs. Not that I'm not a goofball. Like, get out of here. but it really comes down to coming together as a community in order to tackle a story and get as much information as we can together, and then find the truth from that. And I think we're moving in that direction. Also, I did just start a Facebook page, a Facebook group. So if you guys haven't, checked that out, it's called Stop In or Drop In. Facebook page. I have the link, I think, in one of my other videos that I just created, so you can go check that out. Join the community, stop over there and chit chat along with everybody so we can get to the bottom of our stories. But yeah, thank you guys. Like, I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys like the content. I'm glad you're vibing. So yeah. Thank you. Appreciate you guys so much. Glad you guys enjoyed the content. Glad you have fun hanging out with me. I have fun hanging out with you guys too. And being able to share stories is so, so cool. We need more fog because epicness, right? Should we change colors? Submarine. People fake their deaths. Ooh, we can talk about that. As a possibility. It's a very much possibility that they did. For those of you guys who've been following along with that submarine story, I didn't jump on that right away. I really didn't. Fog machine. Yes, I wanted to be different. The submarine story, I just wanted to change things up a little bit, right? Like, I didn't jump on that story right away because I thought it was like not something I should cover. I cover conspiracies, I cover, that kind of stuff, news stories, aliens, AI, that kind of stuff. So when the conspiracy came out, or when the story came out, I was like, that's not for me. I'm just going to sit back and listen. But as time went on with that story, it got deeper and deeper and deeper, no pun intended. but but it actually did. And come to find out, we have these people, these billionaires who are connected in a ton of ways surrounding all of this stuff, right? We have people connected with things like the Ohio train incident. One of the guys on the submarines had created or been connected to the creation of those chemicals that blew up in the Ohio train incident. Another one of the guys was connected with ASA, I believe, which is, or maybe it's SAA. I have dyslexia, y'all. Safe aerospace, so something along the lines of that, where they literally checked the air to make sure that there was no UFOs involved inside of our airspace, to make sure that it's safe for flight. Wait, what? Isn't that one of the biggest stories that we've been talking about all year? Okay. Another one of the guys just flew to space with Jeff Bezos, and one of the businesses he's connected with, no joke, is trying to find UFOs in the world. Like, literally reaches out, and they have satellites that look for different voices and signals in space from UFOs. Okay? Excuse me, but this is weird. We just had one of the largest stories break with pollution happening in 2023 with a train wreck that was literally poisoning our water supply. That's a problem. Then we have UFOs literally all over every single news station. People have been showing it everywhere on TikTok, right? They're literally everywhere. And then we have all of these people together inside of one submarine because they're in some serious, and they don't want, theory, this isn't, I'm not spitting facts here, but they don't want to be in trouble for some of the stuff they did. So screw it. Let's go down to the bottom of the ocean in an unsafe submarine that hasn't passed security checks. And we didn't use that carbon fiber hull because who needs it, right? That extra $50,000 in submarine safety. Yeah, right. You guys, I did get a Logitech controller though off Amazon. $7.99. No big deal, right? We saved some money there. And we went to Camper World where we grabbed a couple pipelines that are going to be a little bit better inside of our sub. Yeah. Okay. And then you're talking about 3 or 4 of the most billionaire people, like absolute billionaires, like the top 1%, who are smart and connected with their fingers in everything. And they're just like, sign me up. Sign me up. I'm going to go in an unsafe submarine down to the bottom of the ocean so we can just implode. In a submarine, nonetheless, in 2023, that cannot be opened from the inside where we all are sitting. Y'all, that sounds a little fishy. I don't know about you, but I ain't getting in a box that can't be opened from the inside. Okay? Now, if I'm a billionaire and I'm going to spend $250,000 of my hard-earned cash, heck no. Heck no. I ain't hopping in some sad steel coffin and being sent to the... No. And I don't even have that much common sense. Like, I'm not a billionaire, okay? That's just me. We're adding more smoke. What do you guys think of that? That's my theory. Theory. Making that clear. Theory, okay? It's a very good excuse, right? None of us can get to the bottom of that ocean. You and I don't have the money to go out there. We ain't gonna go searching for no bodies. No. We just assumed they were all in the submarine. We just assumed that it went missing. What was the tapping? What was the tapping that the Navy heard at the bottom of the ocean? More smoke. Can only go so much, okay? I live in an apartment. I don't want to scare my neighbors. I don't want to scare my neighbors. More smoke. I don't think they died. I don't know. It's super sketchy stuff, you guys. Super sketchy stuff. So I promised somebody else I would be talking a little bit about Antarctica. So let's dive into Antarctica because that's a story in itself. How many of you guys have ever been on Google Maps? How many of you guys have ever been on Google Maps? And you've searched maybe your house, maybe you've searched your friends' places, maybe you've searched places on the other side of the world that you want to go travel to. Okay, all of which is extremely detailed. You can dive in, you can go right down to the little human body, and you can wander the streets in most places. You can go to Greenland, you can go to Iceland, you can go to France and China, but Antarctica is off limits. Now that is a little bit sketchy. Now another thing I want you guys to know as a cinematographer, editor, photographer, we go down there and we're looking at Antarctica. Granted, Antarctica is a lot of ice. That's right, it's ice. So it's going to grow and it's going to shrink. The pictures that are taken on Google Maps are uber sketch. If you guys have ever tried to copy and paste in Photoshop and move things around and start to blend things in, I don't know if you guys have ever done that. Creators, let me know. If you've ever tried to blend things in when it comes to the ice, yo, this is an absolute Photoshop disaster. Like, Antarctica is a Photoshopped disaster on Google Maps. Feel free, go check it out. If you don't believe me, go check it out right now. Let me know what your thoughts are. Like, it's a disaster. It looks like a 2-year-old was like, copy, paste, copy, paste. It's a disaster. Why? We have cleared the planet. We have gone, this is a theory for another day. Why have we gone to the moon, but we can't chart Antarctica? Does that make any sense to you guys? We've gone to the moon. We've landed on the moon, but we can't chart out Antarctica. Flat Earth theory, that's one thing. But we can't chart out Antarctica, and that makes zero sense to me. Now, a story I've heard many times on Ancient Aliens, and the sources, trust me, bro, but the story we've heard, the theory, the circle that goes around, is the fact that at one point in time, there was a Navy vessel, and the vessel was chosen to go down and explore Antarctica. And as it got closer and closer to Antarctica, it ran into the icy waters, and they had trouble, and they were able to finally make it to shore. And when they made it, they ended up starting to scout the area, scout the location, but then, this is the story, this isn't me talking, they ended up finding a group of lizard people. I don't know, there you go, that's the story, I'm not saying it, but they found some lizard people. And they were told by these creatures that they are not allowed to be here. And to this day, we have limitations on who can go to Antarctica. Look that up. It's going to be penguin scientists. Why? Who knows, but penguin scientists and or explorers. Now, we did just find out in the conference that happened just a little bit ago that there is some sort of technology down there that can create earthquakes. I don't know if you guys seen that. Check out one of my other videos as well. But there's a technology that we have down there that has created earthquakes, and it has like seismic things inside the ground. I don't know. It's a little above my head. I don't want to go into too much detail on that. But there has been stories that there are holes in Antarctica that are like in-ground caves with beautiful palm trees and lakes and rivers and like ground that you and I have never seen before, with plants and animals that are like considered species that we haven't seen before. These are stories, these are theories that we have heard. This isn't me speaking, this is stories that are in Antarctica, and it's being covered up. That's the Antarctica theory. I didn't make that up. Go look it up for yourselves. Have fun. Cheers. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm telling you what I've heard. Just saying. But Antarctica is confusing to me, because why in the world is there a place where there is ice and snow and we have all this technology, we're making it to the moon, but we can't chart out our own property, our own land? And this falls in, I've got stories for y'all for days. This falls into that woman who was at that Chinese nail salon, so getting her nails done. Did you guys ever hear about that? It's like a few months back. Oh man, December. This woman was getting her nails done. She's living her best life. She's like, feeling it, right? Yes, the dinosaurs. Yes, the dinosaurs. So this woman's at this, like, she's in China. She's getting her nails done at the salon, and all of a sudden, on the TVs, they had the TVs going, okay? All of a sudden, all of the women in the salon stopped and kind of stared up at the TV. And this woman was like, what's going on? You know, she doesn't speak Chinese. She's trying to figure it out and gather the information. Like, every woman inside here is staring at this TV. And why is that the case? Thank you. Come to find out, she decides to be smart, pulls out her Google Translate. Now, this was one story, by the way. This was hot on TikTok for like 3 days and then poof, disappeared. So she takes out her Google Translate and she slides that across the table and she's watching it as the woman on the TV speaking. And the words coming across the screen are, don't quote me. I'm prefacing. We're just remembering stuff here. But essentially, we found new lands off the coast with creatures that are 10 to like 12 feet long that we've never seen before. Prehistoric creatures, more land than we've ever charted before. And this woman's reading this thing and she's like, excuse me? Am I reading this right? And she slides her phone across the table to the other woman who's sitting on the other side who's painting her nails. She slides that phone across the table and you know what that woman said? She goes, yeah. She shakes her head. Yep, that's what they said on the news. Now, how credible is their news? I don't know. But the fact that every single woman in this nail salon stopped and stared at that TV, and this woman swore by it, man. Like, she was talking this story up, and she just like, this is the truth. This is what happened. Believe me. It was hyped, and then gone. Gone. They said they found more species that they've never seen before, like prehistoric species on these islands. They found islands that are uncharted. That you can look up and that you will find. I promise you. Go look it up. They found islands that were uncharted that they've never seen before off the coast of Japan, I believe. Go look that up if you don't believe me, you guys. That is actually the truth. Now, the prehistoric ones, that was the story that the woman shared, but that is like what they were saying. Yes, China or Japan. That could be, it's one of the two. But yeah, that story hopped and I covered it on my channel and then gone. So, yep, that was the story. So that kind of falls into the category of there's more land. There's maybe a possibility of a flat earth and or Antarctica. There's stuff that's uncharted. How? Excuse me, how? How is there uncharted land on this world when we're looking at it from space? Do you know that NASA came out the other day? Oh, dumb question, sorry. I don't want us to find these places. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they want us to find these places. NASA came out the other day and said that we had lost the technology to the moon, so we can't go back. Going to the moon in 1969 was a race against the Russians. We wanted to get there first because we're America. Right? We're super strong. We're powerful. We are the land of the free, and we will win no matter what. So we're going to make it to the moon first. So in 1969, we decided to create a rocket that was going to take us to the moon. We landed on the moon, right? Successful landing on TV, shown globally, worldwide. We broadcasted from the moon to the world with a 9-volt battery. Let me tell you guys something. It takes some serious juice to broadcast to a live station, such as like, you know, BBC or the news stations. It takes some serious horsepower. Okay? We're talking vans with satellites on their freaking head kind of horsepower. We made it to the moon. We broadcasted signals from the moon back to Earth, so that way people in 1969 could watch it on their black and white TVs. We stepped foot on this moon because we were America, and we were going to be the first people to do so. As we jumped around on the moon and we decided to successfully leave the moon, the camera decided to pan up on the moon as the shuttle took off. The camera panned up on the moon, thus meaning we left a cameraman on the freaking moon filming the ship taking off so that way y'all could see it in high definition black and white 1969 on your TVs, because we were America. Now, I'm not hating on America. I love America. But I do know that there might be some secrets that y'all ain't been telling us, okay? Let's just say that. Because now, we haven't been back to the moon since 1969. And NASA claims we haven't been back to the moon because we lost the technology. Yeah, technology's been, it's gone. We don't know how to do that. We're making virtual reality. You're playing on your Apple computers. We're broadcasting globally. We're driving in cars that are battery powered, Teslas. But we can't get back to the moon. We can't get back to the moon. We lost that. The technology's gone. I don't know. Stories, y'all. Can we talk about that? I don't know, but that's a little wild and out. The moon is a base. Possibly. They think we're that dumb. Possibly. I mean, we do work every single day to make them happy. The billionaires, we work. We wake up the crack of dawn, we get our kids ready for school, we get food on the tables, we go to work, and we come home specifically so that way we can pay taxes on the dollars that we made to feed them, to make them happy. And then I give you guys $100, and that $100 that I already been taxed on gets taxed when you get that $100. And when you spend that $100, that gets taxed again. So technically this is madness. This is madness. This can go on for days, but thank you guys so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are having a good time in this live. I thank you very much for the subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys are having fun hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Hello. I want to say hi to all the new subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for being a part of the community. Again, this is for fun. Like, I'm going to deliver you content. We can talk. We're going to be hanging out. And feel free to jump in, talk a little bit. Like, I also, just to those new subscribers, those new on this page, we do have a Facebook page where you guys can go over to. It's called Stop In or Drop In. Small community page over there that I just made where you guys can jump in and talk with like-minded people like us. Share your stories, share your pictures, share your content with everybody so we can dive in and get to the bottom of the stories. Everyone, please be kind. We're not here to cause trouble. We're not here to cause issues. We're here to get to the bottom of these stories and have fun. And that's what it's really all about. So yeah, that's what it's all about. It's just getting to the bottom of the stories, having fun, and being open-minded. Like, come in with an open mind and expect to hear stories that are outlandish. Expect to hear stories that are absolutely mind-blowing, that open your mind to new things, that are allowing you to see in new ways. Because why would you want to be stuck in a box? Okay, I'm a creative. I have always been a creative. I've got stories about that I don't know if I should share. But as a creative, you can just be open-minded. You can think different ways. You can have fun and just see things in a different way. As a photographer, that is a goal of mine too, is to take a picture and have something be seen in a way that has never been seen before. Something that you walk past every day, but is looked at by one person and then shared to the world, right? Because without art, the world is so boring. It's the artists that create the beauty or help show the beauty of the world that gets overlooked so many times by so many people. Something as simple as a billboard. And I know that doesn't sound very exciting because we pass those all the time, but a billboard can stand out in ways by just using simple colors. Using colors that are bright and eye-catching. So like a yellow on a black background is going to pop and it's going to read caution. If you ever see yellow, you're going to see caution, right? So you see a yellow stoplight. What happens? Whoop, caution, we're going to be stopping to a red. Or a yellow sign on the sidewalk. Caution, people are going to be crossing here. Caution, deer crossing here. Colors mean things because you have learned that now. So artists have the ability to play with colors in different ways to help make you feel a certain thing. I have a green light up here because we're talking UFOs and aliens, and a blue cool light to make you feel soft and warm and inviting. Right? So, and I can change that at any time, but that's artistic thought process behind little things, and a lot goes into it, and artists help kind of drive that. So we get to share that kind of stuff with everybody. It's a vibe. Yes. Thank you. Glad you guys like it. We need more smoke. Because fog is life. I can't go too crazy with the smoke because we have neighbors and I don't want them to think that our apartment's on fire. that would be good, right? No, we don't need that. Always appreciate the details. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining in. Hopefully you're having fun hanging out with me. I'm a boring soul by myself usually. Is it fog or smoke? It's fog. It's fog. It's a fog machine. It's not bad for you or anything. It's just kind of a simple fog light to kind of like help create a mood, if you will. Hush, your lives are so fun. Thank you, Brooke. I try to have fun with you guys. I want to tell you guys stories and get to know you guys and just kind of be here. And feel free to call in if anybody has a story that they feel like they need to share, or they've seen something, whether that be paranormal, whether they're talking about AI, because I've been off the train on that one for a little bit. If you've got UFOs, whatever. I want to share my story. Call on in. Feel free. We can listen to some stories. I'm kind of currently out of them at the moment. Hopefully you guys are having fun though. Thank you for hanging out with me. We've got 75 people. We've been bumping between 75 and 80 people here on the chat. So thank you guys for listening and chilling and being bored with me. I ain't got nothing better to do on my Monday night, I guess, right? We've seen some aliens, bunch of UFOs. Like, yeah, UFOs have been a super hot topic. Like, it's a thing. I mean, I personally have seen them more than once. I do have one very intense story, but who needs to do laundry? Yo, I need to do laundry, okay? We're not talking about that, okay? That's clean. I just decided to hop on live and chat with you guys instead of put it away in my closet. Want to talk Project Bluebeam? Feel free to share Project Bluebeam. I know a little bit about it. I don't know a lot about it. I know Project Bluebeam has something to do with the fact that it is possibility of like projections of things in the sky. Fake alien invasions, and I haven't dove in deep enough into it to spit out facts for you guys, and I'm not trying to give you guys false information. I want to give you guys the stories that I've heard that seem credible, that have a lot of detail that is, like exciting, and that I can feel credible behind. I don't want to just spit out stuff that I'm just like, yeah, blah blah blah, I seen this on the news and here's some information, because if it's wrong, call me out on it. Let me know. I'm always down to be put into a specific place where you guys can be like, yeah, no, dude, that's super wrong. It's this, this, and this. And again, that's why we're the community that we are, because we're here to get to the bottom of all of that information. Please let him join the live. He requested to join. I didn't see any requests. I'm sorry. I didn't see anything pop up that said they were calling in. Hello. Thank you guys so much for joining. Appreciate it. Hope. Smiley face. She says, please let him join the live. He requested to join. I have not seen who he is, so I'm sorry. What is your favorite, most interesting conspiracy story? My favorite, most interesting conspiracy story. Right now, I think it has to do with like the fact that the government has come out and stated that UFOs and ETs exist, but we just don't know. And just recently about that too, we have UFOs, like I've grown up knowing, and then we have that moved over to UAPs, and they switched the name of that because they don't have any data. Hold on one second. Let's see if we. Okay, so they changed the name to UAP because they didn't have data. So UFO stands for Unidentified Flying Object, and UAP stands for Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon. And aerial phenomenon, if you look up the definition of object versus phenomenon, object is a physical item that you can touch. This beer is an object. This controller is an object. A phenomenon, the definition, is something that happens, but we cannot explain it. And so that I find extremely interesting, like a hardcore cover up. But it's interesting because the theory goes so far that essentially the higher ups know that there are aliens, and we've been talking to them for a while, but we're talking higher up than our president, because our president had no idea. And the people in the White House and the Pentagon had roughly no idea. So we're talking about people, one or two people who had access to that information. And I'm sure you guys have seen, if you followed along on this channel, who I'm talking about, he came out the other day and was just like, yeah, like, it's a thing. I know several people who have come to me with this information, and those people have then since backed up his information as well. So yeah, I think it's kind of wild to me. Yeah, I wonder who else is running these secret programs. I don't know. I have no idea. We're not going to know. Yeah, I'm not really sure. And I'm not really sure where life is about to go either, because like, let's take a quick look at 2023, right? Like, we have had some serious news break this year. Like, crazy news. We've learned that there was Ohio train incident that was causing chemicals dripping into our waters. Actually, just 2 days ago, a train crashed, or yesterday, one of the two, a train crashed in Yellowstone River National Park, and it was leaking chemicals down into the Yellowstone National River. Our water supplies are getting poisoned. Our food and crops are drying out, because we do now also have capabilities of controlling weather, by the way. So if you've noticed some weather changes, maybe along the lines of something along that. It's wild to think where 2023 has led us. Like, we've learned about aliens. We've learned that the government has been hiding all of these secrets about aliens. We've seen water and chemicals and forest fires happen. Like, I mean, we see that, the forest fires every year. But this year has had more news packed into it, more like crazy groundbreaking news happening this year than I think ever before. and we're living in history, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, it's very much like a dream. Absolutely is. It's, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to take us. I'm kind of scared to see the future. I really hope that World War III like doesn't happen and it calms down and people figure their stuff out, because what's scary is that your life and my life and people, your family, your friends, all of that stuff is being controlled essentially by someone who has a big button, and they are above us, and if they want to push this button, they can change our lives forever, because they said, we live in America, we're proud of it, and you live in Russia and you shouldn't be proud. Like, whatever, right? Like, it's so stupid to me. We're people. We're all people. We should share love. We should be concerned for one another. We could be happier if we all helped one another. If someone needs a shirt, you take it off your back and give it to them, because we are people and we're here to help each other. And so the fact that there is some random person out there who's holding a button and is just like, ah, I'm gonna push a button and destroy the world because I have power. Bro, go suck it. Like, no. I don't care. No. No. This world is for every one of us, and it just makes me so mad. Makes me so mad. Dill, can I be a moderator? Pretty please. Hope. I don't know how to let you in here. Like, I've had people call in before and it just pops up on my screen. I don't know why. It's not doing that currently. I'm sorry. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me on my TED Talk today. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope that I have been able to put a smile on some of your crazy faces and have a fun chat with me. And we've been able to just talk conspiracies and have fun. And thank you guys so much for subscribing. I really appreciate that so much. Yeah, and just hanging out and having a community where we can chit chat and have a good time and talk conspiracies. So again, if you guys are interested, you can pop on over to our Facebook page. We did create one. It's called Stop In or Drop In. You guys can pop on over there and take a quick peek and join in with like-minded people who are talking about all of the same stuff that I am, and we can kind of really get into the get in deeper into these stories. But again, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys had fun. Again, jump over there. We can finish some more chatting. I pop in every once in a while and try to give you guys topics and things to chat about so we can have some fun. But thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. And I'm going to let you go tonight so I can go snuggle in because I'm going to go watch a movie. Because I have a life too, that I need to just have another beer and chillax. So I gotta get ready for work. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. Hopefully you had fun. And we'll see you guys in the next one.